can help me with the pronunciation. The hijab.
In Arabic.
The hijab.
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 Hey, listen!
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to
Daring Accents. There's a lot more daring today. I drank lots of coffee.
What do you dare us to talk about today?
I dare you to talk about the headline.
It's already up. Today we're going to talk about a very controversial topic because that's what we like. We like touching.
We like touching.
Topics that are sensitive and somewhat controversial. And this is one of those episodes. What the hell are you doing? Where we are touching on a very sensitive topic. It is called the hijab.
Okay, so
You put a
in
little
Arabic,
baby doll in
it's
there.
The hijab.
The hijab. We're gonna take a big jab at the hijab. I wanted to say it. Stop.
He's been saying that all day long.
I hope nobody is offended or nobody gets offended, and I hope you don't take it to heart because we do this just to educate. This is an educational podcast. So when we talk about these topics, it's because we want to raise awareness and educate people who have a misconception about certain things, especially Middle Eastern things, right?
Mm-hmm. We wanted to answer a question about the hijab.
All right, what is the question?
That is, do you think that women who wear the hijab are oppressed? And just for people who are not Middle Eastern or don't know anything about Muslim religion, we talk about hijab, and I brought a little accessory to help.
She would.
Don't judge.
Okay.
And it's even purple. Fits the background. Anyways, so there's so many different types.
Yeah,
hijab.
can you educate me about that? Because I don't know.
So you might have seen women walking around with black things on their head, and you don't know anything about Muslim religion, so we're gonna teach you what these are. So the word hijab just means like
covering
women
your
who
hair,
do
right?
this. They cover their hair, and we'll explain to you later why. This is just the normal hijab. Then there's this thing called the khimar, which is like...
Hold on, when you put that, I thought the purpose was to hide your hair.
It is, I was just trying to look cute.
Wow.
So anyways, the khimar is pretty much like this. It's a full-on big triangle thing with a thing. Then there's, you probably have seen women walking around like this. And you're like, hey, girl, I'd like to see the bottom of your face.
That's when you're like, look at them ankles. 'Cause
So this is called a niqab. And then, last but not least, you may have seen or not seen. This is
What
called
the fuck?
This is called the niqab.
You know,
Which
they
is
call
like
that chador.
chador.
They wear that in parts of Pakistan,
Mm-hmm.
in parts of Afghanistan, and I don't know if they still do it in Iran or Iran.
I don't know, but me personally, I've never seen someone wearing a burqa ever in my life.
Burqa is the last one you showed, right?
It's the one that's like you're so covered you can barely see, like there's not even like a hole. It's just like a little less threading here. We are gonna be very respectful, but we're also like we're people who would like to not take things seriously, so we like to like keep it light, you know. It's
Lighthearted.
just like, so if we joke about something, it doesn't mean we don't respect it. We just
And just to point this out, we're not just talking about this in a way where we're making fun of this. No, we see ourselves best qualified to talk about this because we have experienced this. We have been a part of this culture. We have been a part of this religion. We have been in these conditions. We have been around people. We might still be around these people. We have people, families that still practice these things. So this is not us sitting,
not only have we been part of this, but we've also been part of other cultures. Like, obviously, we both live in the US, so we know the other side of things. So when we decided to make this episode, it's really to show both sides, explain to each side what the other side thinks or how they view it, and kind of take a very neutral look at things from all ends and discuss it, So, I mean, we wanted to talk about, like, do we think women are oppressed, right?
First, you have to define oppression. What is depression?
What is depression?
Well, can I answer since I did my homework?
You did your homework.
That's the only thing I did.
You did your homework.
Because I didn't know what oppression was related to
Do you
hijab.
know how to spell it?
Oppression? It's like
Don't
depression.
look at the computer.
Yes, oppression, OPPRESSION.
Wow.
You're
My
gonna test me
boyfriend's
on
so
live
smart.
TV. You're gonna test me on live TV.
Okay, that's not live TV. We're gonna edit this. Anyways, what is oppression?
Oppression is prolonged, cruel treatment of women. It is the exploitation.
Of women?
No, that's just the definition. Oppression means prolonged, cruel, or unjust treatment or exercise of authority.
Just fucking read it up the laptop.
I'm trying not to cheat.
I'm like, or exercise, like that is not oppression. But I'm happy to take that.
Oppression is
oppression.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready for
yes.
reciting your homework?
Yes.
Let's hear it.
I've done my homework. Just let me recite this.
Recite
Oppression is prolonged, cruel, or unjust treatment or exercise of authority, control, or power, tyranny, and exploitation.
Wow, it's a lot of big words, but yeah, I get the point.
That's pretty like an intense definition of oppression.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see why wearing hijab makes it seem like women are oppressed, because a lot of people from the outside world who are not embedded in the culture and religion, they think that this is something that's brought upon women by men, which has been mandated by the government, blah blah blah, right? But let's take a turn. How do you define a woman that's not oppressed?
That's easy. I would say a man, to be honest.
Why do you think that? Why do you think?
Because, like, you're a man, right? If you go to the Middle East, you don't have to change any of your behaviors. You would stay pretty much the same. Actually,
men wear the turbans.
They don't have to
Are
wear
they
them.
oppressed
They don't
too?
have to wear them. They don't have to wear them. In Muslim countries, they wear jeans and a t-shirt everywhere, and they're fine.
Okay, so are you telling me that women have to wear the hijab?
In some places, yeah. In some countries, you have to do that.
But in US they don't have to.
They don't have to, but sometimes their families might make them.
Yes, but they're old enough, wise enough to make that decision for their own. Why choose to wear hijab? Why put that kind of stigma upon you, or in a way you sacrifice a lot of your opportunities when you wear something like hijab. You really do. By sacrifice, I mean women go through a lot of discrimination.
You mean women who wear the hijab?
Yeah, they are discriminated. They are looked upon in a different way, especially by Westerners, by the media. So why put yourself through that? I want to really dig down and understand that reasoning. Why is it that women, Muslim women, wear hijab?
There's a lot of reasons why women wear hijab, and that's like, number one, religion tells them to. So it's just like Christians and their religion, let's say, people who actually practice Christianity, like let's say they celebrate Christmas or they go to church on Sunday, that's one of the things that Muslim people have to do is wear it, right? And two is like their family. There's a lot of pressure from your family. If your mom has worn it, your aunts have worn it, your cousins have worn it, you're supposed to follow in the family tradition.
So does that mean they're oppressed or they're not oppressed?
It just depends. Like me personally, I think it could be a form of oppression, but it also cannot be. I decide if you are oppressed or not based on the reason that made you wear it. So if tomorrow I took a girl that lives in the Middle East right now that wears the hijab and I put her in the middle of America without any of her family, without anyone knowing whether she's wearing it or not, if she will still wear it, then I would be like, you are not oppressed. I will not say you are not oppressed, but I will say like, you are really dedicated to your religion and that's why you're wearing it. So that takes away all of the societal pressure, political pressure. So it only leaves one thing, and that's religion. So if you really, really do belief is that deep about what your religion tells you to do, you're still willing to do it even when everyone around it is not there, then I think it's just you wanting to do it out of religion. That being said, do I necessarily think it's fair out of religion to put this on women? Not really.
And it's not necessarily that you're putting it on women, but a lot of women out there, they're saying that this is their choice, that it's not religion or the man that's imposing these on them. They're saying that I want to wear it because I want to feel secure. This is a way to keep my privacy. This is a way for me to connect to my family, to my culture, and be modest, to be able to. And a lot of women, they say that this is a way for them to show their true self, because they think that beauty is not just one way to express oneself. They say that there is more than beauty. There is intellect, there is intelligence. That's their defense.
100% agree with you. Beauty is not in like what you wear. You don't necessarily have to show your hair or whatever, your body, to be normal or to be accepted. We have to go back to the reason why religion asks you. Why does religion ask women to wear the hijab? And it asks women to wear the hijab because is that women's hair, their body, anything that's not their palms or their feet or their face is considered like sexually arousing for men. So they
100%.
believe that in religion, that men cannot control themselves sexually. So you have to cover it so other men don't get tempted by seeing your body and your hair and get turned on and then ruin their focus and concentration on like life and on God and all of that. So from that definition, even though like I believe in God and all of that, I don't believe that you should ever change anything in your body because someone else cannot control themselves.
Right. It's very unfair if you think about it, because
Like religion aside.
Religion aside, why is it that the man can stare the fuck out of a girl, and that being a Middle Eastern man, why is it that they can stare at other women and at the same time be strict on their woman to wear a hijab? You have a Middle Eastern guy who's like, hey guys, today we're gonna go to the beach because I want to see some boobs and titties and asses.
That's not why he wants to get to the beach, is it? Is that why you get to the beach?
No.
Wow.
But
I get to the beach for the water.
But you get my point.
Yeah.
My point is that you see people, Middle Eastern families, their woman is covered up from head to toe, and their man is just wearing a, typical boxer or swim shorts, and they're at the beach in the water, wearing a whole full, what's called burqa, the whole thing.
Yeah.
And you do notice that the men, their attention and eyes at times are focused on the other woman, while the woman has to be kept to themselves, by themselves, in the water.
So you said so many things that I want to address.
Please, because
So
this shit is
number
bothering me.
one, when we talked about earlier about women who say they really want to wear whatever, I don't see how you can be a woman and go to the beach and not want to feel the air, the wind, the water on your skin. It's fucking 100 degrees in the Middle East. I've personally was walking one time in the Middle East, and this boy was telling his mom, he was like, Mom, I'm so hot. And she was like, how do you think I feel? And she was not wearing the full thing, but it's hot. And two, when you were talking about the men and their attention, to be honest, men are always like that, whether their woman is covered or not. They just go and I've gone to the beach with my guy friends, they're just like...
No, there's people being open-minded, just people being open to seeing more skin versus people who haven't seen a lot of skin. And you can clearly distinguish Middle Eastern men versus, let's say, Americans. Americans, they see the skin, yeah, they will look at you, but they're not going to be gazing at you or
That's true.
fucking just their whole concentration is out to a point where I have to snap them out of it.
You know why?
Because they haven't seen it.
They haven't gotten it either. Imagine if you've only had ice cream once in your lifetime versus you had ice cream every day of your life. It's not that exciting after a while. It's not fair that, let's say, and this sounds going to be a radical thought, as Bernie Sanders would say. I've been seeing so many Bernie Sanders memes I keep thinking about. No, but what I want to say is that, it's not fair that when women are too hot or whatever, men can't handle themselves, they have to cover. But what about when men are good looking and girls look at them? Why don't men have to do that? If religion said that men have to cover their hair and do the same thing, I would be 100% for it. I'd be like, it's equal. Men have to cover, women have to cover, sounds good to me. But women have to cover, men do whatever they want. That just does not sound like something God would want, in my opinion.
You sound like a feminist right now, just a little bit.
Yes, I am a feminist. And we were watching that video of this girl who wears a hijab, and she talks about how people are telling her she cannot be a feminist if she is wearing a hijab. Do you think that you can be a feminist and at the same time wear a hijab?
That's a very good question. No, and I think I say that because there are women that wear the hijab, right, for religious reasons, because they respect their religion and the practice of the religion, and then there are women that choose to wear hijab not necessarily for religion, but for tradition cultures. And then there are women that wear it for a way to show the world that there is more than just showing your beauty. They want to show their intellectual abilities. They want to show their intelligence. Therefore, when I wear this, you're not distracted by my beauty. You're more focused about my personality, what I have to bring on the table.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the reasons why they wear it. Now, it becomes a problem, and it goes against the feminism beliefs, because why can't you not wear it and at the same time show your intelligence, show your true self, your intellect? I think that will create more of an equal thing versus you thinking that if you wear the hijab, that people will become more aware of your other capabilities. Or does it make sense?
Yes. So I agree with you. When you talk about feminism, the definition of feminism is having equal rights for men and for women. Not having the right to wear whatever you want means that you are automatically giving up one right. That automatically means that the hijab, in my opinion, is made to lower women below men. Now, if you want to be a religious person and you are doing it for religious purposes, I 100% empathize with you. You believe in God, you desperately believe in this religion, your faith is strong, you want to wear the hijab, I respect it. But that being said, you can't call yourself a feminist. You could call yourself a religious person who does want women to be better. Let's talk about but what is the alternative? Does the alternative to wearing the hijab, oh, you have to wear a bikini to show that you're a feminist,
Yes.
You have to be naked?
Yes.
No.
That's the alternative.
That is not the alternative.
You have to show more booty on Instagram. You have to show more titties.
So that's the problem. The problem is that on the other side, in the US, oppression, I think, in my opinion, is happening in the other way.
Like exploitation.
Exploitation.
I think it's weird. It's two extreme ends, right? There is that societal pressure that's upon you to a point where you have to now get naked.
It's like in the Middle East, they're like, oh, women have to cover up because their man doesn't want to be turned on, and you have to be a good wife. In the US, it's the complete other opposite. It's like, if you want to make it as a star, if you want to be in a movie, blah, 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 you have to show skin. That's how you go viral. That's how people are going to remember you. If you show your tits for the first time as a movie actress, look at all these most of my Instagram is just naked women. Literally, I've seen so many naked women. I see so many naked women every day that and I think in a way people don't see that is exploitation.
And it comes down to you, again, trying to please the men. That, in a sense, makes you oppressed.
That is also anti-feminism, I think. If you're wearing a bikini because you just feel like being naked and you want to do it, I 100% go for it. You're doing it because, you think that's how you're going to become famous. I just think that's, you're oppressed.
Yeah,
You're just as oppressed as the women in the Middle East.
See, it wouldn't have been oppression if the men were also subject to this.
Exactly.
Right?
That's a good point.
So if the men had to show more balls, if they had to show more, I don't know, what the fuck is the guy gonna show?
Nothing.
Chest, ass crack, I don't know. Then you could say that it's an equal thing, right?
Exactly.
But because that's not happening, and because it's extreme in one way, then it is a form of oppression.
Look at what's her name? what's her name? The Woman of America?
Wonder
Woman. Look at Wonder Woman and
That's
like
her being a foreign.
Look at Wonder.
She said the Woman of America is a wonder.
Whatever. You see how she's dressed? She's dressed in pretty much lingerie. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you can't even do yoga in that outfit. You're gonna be like.
So, I kind of want to tie this to humans' animalistic ways. Can I do that?
Yeah.
You know, there are certain birds, they have to show off. They have to, like, there are certain pretty birds, they have to go and kind of dance.
I know the video you're talking about. I've seen it online.
They have to go and sort of present and perform in front of other male figures so they can be picked for mating purposes. And if you see that aspect of things, then you might not see oppression as a bad thing or as an extreme thing. I'm not trying to make oppression okay.
No. Actually, I know what you're saying. What you're saying is just because you're doing something to please the opposite sex doesn't mean it's oppression. It could be just a call for mating.
Yes. And what do human beings live for?
Sex.
To mate. Sex.
That's actually a really good point.
Because think about it. Even for those who do wear the hijab, okay, not the extreme forms where they have to wear the whole burqa, right? Mm-hmm. I've seen a lot of women that they have the hijab, their hair doesn't show, but when you look at your body, you're like, holy shit. Like, that shit exists.
When I take it to Jerusalem, you'll see that everywhere. That's how it is.
They have lipstick, the makeup. It's just the only thing you can't see is the fucking hair. It doesn't make any sense.
Actually, some women wear it because they do look better with it. This is something nobody talks about. I know women, when I was younger, they wear it and then they take it up and then I'm like, you're not that cute. Hair makes a big difference. A girl with thick hair versus a girl that's like doesn't have much hair and it's not that nice.
Right.
It makes a big difference.
And what if you're having a bad hair there? Put a fucking hijab on.
Exactly. It's like guys when they wear a hat. You're just wearing a hat. They don't have to worry about that shit. But I also want to say something. In actual religion, this is for the American people that don't understand religion. In actual religion, God only tells you to cover like your hair. It's actually against religion to be extremist, literally.
In the Muslim
it's
religion.
like a sin. Extremism in Islam is actually a sin. Like they don't have, you know how in Christianity there's nuns and priests and they don't get married, they can't, that doesn't exist in Islam. There's no such thing as like a woman that's just like praying her whole life or a man that's just praying his whole life. They're both allowed to live their sexual lives and everything. So God only says, if you want to go by textbook, he says you can wear this, well, you should wear it on your head, but he doesn't say you should cover your face. He doesn't say you should wear a big thing. That's completely not a Islam thing. That's something that people that don't understand religion made up to really oppress women. The only thing in Islam that says women, if they really want to, they can wear this, is if they are so fucking gorgeous. There's a line that says
that says it in the religion?
Yeah. Not if you're so fucking gorgeous, but this is the translation.
Right.
If you're so beautiful that every time a man looks at you, they're like melt, you wear it. And it's funny because back home, in Jerusalem, there's almost nobody that wears this thing. Everyone, if they do wear it, they do the thing. But every once in a while, like maybe one day out of the year, I'll see someone wearing it and I'll be like, damn, is she really that beautiful? That's what I'll think in my head.
Could be the ugliest woman under that, but you would think it's a beautiful woman.
They're very confident. But yeah, like that's just to clear things up, that's not a religious thing.
And Women abuse these burqas, these coverings. My mom used to tell me stories of how there are women that literally do prostitutions by wearing shit like this. And I mean, think about it. How easy would it be to fucking sleep around without even being exposed?
Oh my god,
thought
that's
about
so
that?
true. You
Like,
could
literally-
even wear the thing and you could be like, hey, do you want to have sex with me? They don't even know who you are.
Exactly. And you could get back to the same guy tomorrow. They wouldn't know.
You know what, now that I think about
And
it?
I think that's very common. My mom and dad used to tell me stories because we lived in Iran for a little bit. Iran.
Yeah.
Common in Iran. Like,
Huh. I've actually never heard of that.
yeah, women go around and, you know, they really practice sexuality. They take advantage of these coverings to have sex, to earn money.
If you think about it, because I love metaphors, wearing the whole thing is like driving a car that has the tinted windows. You can see everyone, but nobody can see you.
That's fucked up.
So literally, you're wearing it, you could do whatever the hell you want, and no one knows who you are. Like, how nice has it been sometimes when you look like shit wearing a face mask? People don't know who the fuck you are. You can go to the store looking like shit. It gives a little bit of... It does have some pros, I think. But maybe that's why in some countries they banned it. Maybe.
Yeah, I think they banned it in...
France.
They banned it in France. They even banned it in Tajikistan. They banned it in parts of Iran or Iran.
Did they ban the whole thing?
Like
or
some
just
people-
or the hijab? What did they ban?
I think mostly the burqa. Burqa is the one that covers the whole thing, right? I think they banned that. And there's been cases where they have put women in prison when they didn't wear it. I don't know if they still do that now, but there's been cases like that.
So let me ask you this. Do you believe that something like wearing the hijab or the burqa or whatever should be regulated by a government? Like, should it be legal or illegal? Like, you know how you said in some countries it's actually legal and in other places they're banning it. In some places you have to wear. Do you believe it should be something that the government regulates?
I am for women's rights. I am for them to make their own choice. But I don't want a woman to wear it just because the religion says so.
But are you with it being banned?
I am against it.
Against
If
what?
I'm against wearing hijab in places that kind of conflicts with that culture.
So you believe that, let's say in the US, it should be banned to wear it.
Which form of hijab? The burqa?
Yeah, let's talk about each one. Like, what do you think about each one? Like, do you think they should ban the burqa in the US?
Yes, I do not like the burqa because that could be a fucking man underneath that shit.
You want to know what I think?
What's your opinion? Do you oppose banning hijab or you're for it?
I think I am against any kind of rule that forces women to wear any of the 4 kinds of hijab. Any of them.
You're against all of them.
Yes. I think no woman should be forced to wear any of them.
Right.
When it comes down to banning, I also believe that no government should tell anyone what not to wear. I've seen some Americans wear some really weird shit and no one's banned them. So just like they haven't, let's say, banned the bikini, like some people may be religious and they don't want to see that. You know, you're walking around in the street, like, you have to just be accepting of everyone. If you are so deep in your religion or you are so deep in your culture that that's what you want to do, then I don't think any government should ban it. That being said, if in a certain place, say a certain neighborhood, it becomes known that people are abusing it for stealing things, for robbing people, for prostitution, to break the law, like as a way of going undercover, then in that case, I think for the safety of the people, it should be banned. That's the only scenario that I believe a government should ban anything.